afternoon guys, welcome back to another video for Motorhome Retrofits. So today is purely for antennas. One of the many emails that we get on a regular basis is that their customer's motorhome is really suffering with FM or DAB reception. And that's mostly because of the fact that a lot of antennas are either non-existent, fitted in the wing mirrors and are passive, not active, or actually they started off life with a vehicle where they had factory fitted external body mount antenna, and then they've been turned into a coach built antenna, so therefore the outside part of the antenna has been removed, they've left with the inside bit, and then they've passed through quality checking because the vehicle's stationary and works. However, this particular vehicle is one of the lucky ones, so has come from factory, is not a coach built vehicle, so therefore has already a body mounted antenna. And this is what it turned up to us today with. This is a standard single FM or AM and probably medium wave antenna. But let's just concentrate with FM because the other two are null and void anyway. This is an FM antenna. It's body mounted, which means that there's a hole through the body and it's fixed up with a nut on the other side. And then what it does is it uses the metal of the actual chassis itself as a ground plane, or to those of you that don't know what that is, it's an earth. It's just earthing the system to give you a good base or foundation for an antenna. The problem is that FM is all well and good, but everyone now wants DAB, which is digital radio. Now, digital radio works on a very different frequency plane to FM, and you can't generally just go and replace an antenna and think, or use your FM antenna and think that that's then going to be okay with a splitter in behind the radio, because stationary, it works fine, but whilst you're traveling, it's really, really frustrating, and it'll just mean you'll get so annoyed with it, you'll turn it off. So this customer has come into us today and we have removed this, and we have fitted one of our body mounted FM and DAB amplified antennas. Now what the amplified section means is that it's got a separate tracer or trigger wire that runs from the antenna down to the back of the radio or to an independent ignition source, and that means that you've got 12 volts running up into the area itself. The whip on the top, which is this bit that you can remove or not remove as you used to do with car washes and whatnot, it's also on a pivot. So for instance, that's then fitted to the body like so, and you can adjust the antenna. Now if you didn't have that, because of the angle of different dashboards, because of the angle of different vehicles, you would find that it either sticks up or sticks down and faces the roof, and therefore pretty much useless. But in essence, anything that's external is going to work better than an internal one. Now this vehicle originally has had work done by us, and we had fitted an internal glass mounted antenna. That's all been removed today to make way for our external FM and DAB amplified antenna. So Martin's done a cracking job of removing and dropping down all of the roof lining or the head lining, depending on what you want to call it. Access the back of the antenna, which isn't straightforward, as you'll see throughout the video. Route the cable in down through after he's sealed it, doing up the antenna, routing it back down and connecting up the FM and DAB. And as I said to this customer, there are 3 types of antenna that really, really work well. This is the second best. The first best is right on top of the roof. The same analogy as a lighthouse. If the antenna can see round itself, it's going to work beautifully, providing it's been fitted correctly and is amplified and got a good ground plane. This is second best because this is still outside and it's still as high as it can be, but it's what I call halfway down the cliff. And that works the same way as a lighthouse. If it was halfway down the cliff, it's only 50% useful, as opposed to a lighthouse being on the cliff, which is the reason why they are for full or 360 vision. In most vehicles, especially this type of vehicle, you've either got pop top or fiberglass roof or other such stuff, but this is just as good. It's amplified, so you've got your 12 volt amplification that goes through, and if you are driving away from the transmitter, then this is going to do the very best it can in terms of grabbing hold of that signal and keeping on with it and giving you a DAB reception. Now, of course, without boring you too much, DAB stations all differ. So if you're listening to a BBC radio station, DAB bandwidth is in sections. So BBC have got a powerful chunk of bandwidth. If you listen to other stations like Planet Rock or Absolute or many of the other hundreds of DAB channels, chances are they've only got small budgets, therefore their bandwidth is smaller, and therefore it will not be as powerful when you're out on the road in the UK on your travels. And of course, DAB doesn't work everywhere you go in the EU, so please check as well, because in some countries they don't even have DAB, or it's just not something that they're even thinking about, but they are moving in towards it now. So you might then have to go back to using your FM antenna. So this is a sliding door camper or motorhome. We've now fitted our FM and DAB body mounted antenna, but if you follow us on YouTube, you'll see that also we have fitted them around this area here on a few occasions, and that's because of the fact that we couldn't get access to the roof because of it being a low profile or a coach built. So then we fitted it here. Again, this is number 3 in my favourites list. It's not the best, but it's certainly going to help rather than being an internal antenna. So if you've got a vehicle, you're suffering with FM and DAB reception, unsure as to what you could have, send us a contact form, get in touch with us. We'll ask you for some pictures and see if we can fit this for you. And then obviously only installations down here in Dorset, but please do get in touch. Website is in the bio and contact forms on our website, simple enough to find. And thank you again for watching.